If you're a stock market coach or you are planning to become one by taking your knowledge about the financial markets and then teaching it to other people so that they could also start making a living with the help of trading and investing, then this video is going to benefit you a lot. Now, in this video, I want to welcome you a special guest that we are interviewing today. His name is Pranav VK. Now, Pranav is the founder and CEO of the Intraday Expert, which is a company that helps everyday people to make a lot of money just by using his specialized options trading strategies that anybody can literally implement. It doesn't matter if you're an existing trader or you are completely brand new. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through, or Pranav is going to walk you through his journey of how he got into the stock market domain and then how he ended up becoming a client and also upgraded to a UAbility X mastermind program and then achieved some phenomenal results and started making a living passively in addition to his trades with the coaching industry as well. In fact, even if you are planning to enter the stock market right now or you are just looking for some trade advice, this video is also going to benefit you because Pranav reveals some of his insights regarding what's going on right now for those interested in trading and investing. So, that being said, I'm sure this is going to be a fantastic interview. So, if you don't already know me, my name is Rohan Dhawan. I'm the CEO and founder of UAbility. We are an education consultancy firm that helps entrepreneurs just like yourself and Pranav get high-ticket clients all over the globe, even if you have no previous experience. And the reason why I do this is because I believe talent should not have borders. So, if you have something specialized to offer to the world, you should be able to do so without any kind of restrictions. So that being said, Pranav, I want to first dive deep into your journey with the financial market. Before we get into the internet marketing and coaching space, I want to understand how did you get into stocks and trading?
Yeah. So that's like one of the surprising elements. Stock market came to me as a surprising element in my life. Basically, I am an electronics and communication engineer who did engineering in one of the top colleges in Bangalore, right? RV College of Engineering. And then after that, I got into one of the MNCs where I was actually designing inverters for electric cars for top companies in the world. And then during this time, that is when my colleagues, they pushed me into saying that you have to invest into stocks, you have to learn how to do it and all of that. So until then I had nothing to do with finances. And once I got into stocks, then I realized that it's not just buying and holding it for a long time. You had something called as you could trade whenever you wanted, like buy and sell on the same day or weekly or monthly, whenever is it. And then I started digging in deep, and I also had like a cousin who was into the markets for the last 12 years. So I reached out to him to understand what are the basics, what are the things I need to be aware of. So he gave me a kickstart at the start, like these are the basics. But then I went deeper and deeper, and I started investing my money that I used to earn from the MNC. And then I lost a lot of money, tried different things, and but one day there was a rapid movement in the market, and I had invested just around 5 or 10,000, and that shot up to 20,000. Like it became like a 100% ROI, right?
In a day?
So yeah, it's
Nice.
in a matter of minutes, right?
Wow.
In a matter of minutes. So now this is something that was really interesting to me. It's not about making that 100% ROI. It is not possible to do it consistently with a bigger capital, but the potential in the market is what surprised me. So that is when I started doing this on a regular basis parallelly with my MNC job. And once I started doing really well, then I started sharing my expertise.
Got it, man. That's pretty interesting. So, Pranav, were you always into trading or did you used to do investing before? Because I know that there's a difference between the two terms, right?
Yeah, I have been actively investing parallelly as well. And I only remove my investments as and when is required based on my lifestyle and things where I have to invest in another asset class which can actually give me passive income. That is when I remove my investments. Otherwise, yeah, it's there. Passive investment is always there.
Got it, man. Got it. So, Pranav, I have a question for you. Like, as you know, that there are so many things happening right now. For example, the budget is supposed to be told. That's around the news. See, I read news as well. So, and also the things that are happening with the U.S. interest rate, like inflation is rising over there, and the value of dollar is absolutely becoming ridiculous. So, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think knowing these circumstances and understanding these circumstances that are going on right now, is this the right time for somebody to enter the stock market?
So there's never a time like you should enter into the market at this point of time or another point of time. The markets are always moving. There is always volatility. There's always up and down movements. If you look at the last 100 years of how the markets have moved, right? So it is always there. There is never like this is the absolute time. It is only that you have to get into the bus and manage your capital well to make sure that you have an edge. So just that people understand what is an edge. It is a combination of your winning percentage and your risk to reward ratios. Let's take a coin toss game, for example, and we toss it 10 times. What is the probability in that case? It's 50%, right? Probability of profit.
Head and tails.
So, yeah, head and tails.
Hmm.
Probability of profit is 50%. So,
Hmm.
your winning percentage there is 50%. Now, let's take a risk to reward ratio of 1 is to 2, which means when you're losing 1,000 rupees. And when you're winning 2,000.
Hmm.
Okay. So now in this case, out of the 50%, let's say you do 10 coin tosses. Every time you're losing, you're giving me thousand. And whenever you're winning, you're getting 2,000, right?
2000. Hmm.
So in this case, the overall point is you're losing 5,000, getting 10,000. At the end, you're at a profit of
Profit 2x.
5,000,
Yeah.
right? So that is the point. Like it's not about being profitable every trade, but managing your capital in such a way that the combination of these two things are giving you a positive edge.
Got it. Is this options and futures trading or
Yeah,
like
options. You can do intraday trading in all the segments, whether it's equity or options or commodities. Again, it is something what you understand. Always invest in what you understand and trade in that.
got it. So, Pranav, I want to borrow your expertise regarding trading and investing, and I want to divide this into two categories, right? The first category could be, let's say, a beginner like myself who doesn't actively do trading like yourself, and then the other category would be like professionals who are doing this on a regular basis, right? So I'll come to the professionals just in a bit, but for somebody like myself, like somebody who's just watching this video and they want to venture out into the stock market, they want to trade or they want to invest, and that's what they are interested in, and they have absolutely no idea. So, what steps would you recommend to an individual like myself who wants to get started and start making some sort of passive income with the help of the market?
Right. So whether it's a beginner or an experienced trader, so people generally think they're an experienced trader as and when they spend 1 year or 2 years in the market, but they have not really done enough amount of learning into it. They've just done random trades, but they've not learned anything, right? So even if you've learned something, then there are three things that you have to remember always. The
Hmm.
three things in that is first thing is your psychology,
Hmm.
second is your risk management, and third is the technique that you follow, right? So psychology contributes to around 60 to 80% for your success in trading, and then the remaining 30 to 40% is based on your risk management and the technique that you follow. Now
Hmm.
I was telling you risk to reward ratios that comes from your risk management, where you keep your capital safe even after having a streak of 10 losses maybe. That is the second part, and the third part is the technique where your winning percentage and losing percentage is determined. So
Okay.
all of these three things contribute as a system,
Hmm.
right? So this system, if it is in place, then you'll be profitable over the long run. So to make sure that these things are something that you learn, we have like a system that we follow, and it has been very very useful. So you learn as and when you learn each concept in the market, you'll be implementing the same in the live market, starting with a smaller capital, right? Whether
Hmm.
you're an experienced trader or a newbie, the system remains the same, because let's say somebody is trading with 10,000 at the first time, right? The
Hmm.
emotions are different. But when he's trading with 10 lakhs capital, then the emotions are different. His heartbeat is going to be like, crazy running, because he is not confident about what is going to happen. Uncertainty, that is going to cause fear,
Yeah.
right? So instead, when you start with a smaller capital, you test out the system, you see consistent results. So just like you tell in sales calls, do 30 sales calls
Mhm.
and then see what the result is. We follow something similar here. So you have to do a specific number of trades, then see
Mm.
what is your winning percentage, losing percentage, your risk to reward ratios, and then based on that, we see what has to be fixed, and then we move forward.
Right, got it. So you're not like investing straight away a lot
Correct.
of capital, and you can start small and grow from there.
Absolutely.
Are we like invest trading like I mean, from my limited knowledge, are we trading like tiny micro stocks or like medium cap or large companies? Does that matter, or we could trade anything?
So when we have to characterize on that aspect, there's small cap, mid cap, and large cap.
Hmm.
But then large cap stocks are something that are largest market capitalization. So these stocks are something, they also move really well. Like there's no specific category as such for when it comes to intraday trading, but we highly recommend not to go for penny stocks which are trading like 3 rupees, 4 rupees, or 15 rupees of that sort. So
Hmm.
we always recommend certain stocks which is trading in between 200 rupees and 1000 rupees. And this is specifically for the kind of techniques that I train people on here. So there's
200 to 1000. What's that called? Like
it's called LTP, the last traded price, the market value of the particular
no,
stock.
no, but what is that stock called? Like, is it a mid cap or what is it?
No, it doesn't have to be that way. Let's say, for example, recently Google's stocks was split 1:20, right?
Right.
Which means if it was somewhere around
Here's the top
$1,000.
search result.
Sorry for that. So if it is valued at $1,000, then it's divided by 20, and each somebody is holding one stock. It's divided into 20 stocks now,
Hmm.
right? So the price of the stock doesn't determine if it is a large cap, mid cap, or a small cap.
Oh, yeah. That's why I think like, when big companies they are like doing really well and then suddenly they'll just divide their
Yeah,
stocks.
correct. So
Uh,
that it becomes affordable for more retail investors.
right. But then there are some companies I forgot that are like that just still don't do it. Like I think it's Berkshire Hathaway. Like
But
yeah,
yeah, it's trading at somewhere around $5 lakh per share right now.
yeah. It's like they don't want common investors or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that makes sense, man. And so, then in your course, do you also teach candlestick reading? Is that something that is important to learn?
Candlestick understanding is very, very important, but you need to remember this: learning one single thing is not going to help you out, right? So
Hmm.
you need to have multiple confirmations before entering into a trade. Let's take, for example, you're looking at the world markets. What
Hmm.
is the sentiment in the markets? Is there any news from the finance minister of India, or is there any interest rates? Like fundamentals are, key, small key, apart from the technical analysis. So basically, when we do analysis for any kind of stock, there are two things: one is
Hmm.
fundamental, one is technical, right? So as and when your investment time increases, your fundamentals has a higher contribution. Let's say you're investing for 4 5 years, then you have to look at the fundamentals of a company, which is going to contribute to 90% of your analysis.
Hmm.
But as and when your investment time reduces to less than one day, like within a few minutes, few hours,
Hmm.
fundamentals won't have an impact, right?
Hmm.
So mainly that is when you have to look at technicals, indicators, price
Technical
action,
analysis. Hmm.
multiple other stuff. So yeah, not just candlesticks, you'll be learning different aspects of trading and the different confirmations that you can have before entering into a trade.
Hmm. Out of curiosity, how did you learn all this stuff, man?
Yeah, like I told you, first thing was my basics came from my brother, who
Hmm.
was in the markets for the last 12 years. And after that, I know, this everybody can refer to. It's called Varsity app by Zerodha. So it
Hmm.
gives you a lot of understanding of the markets theoretically. So then I started implementing the same practically.
Hmm.
To be honest, like the theory that you learn is directly not going to help you in practical. So I had to lose a lot of money before I understood stuff, but majority of the people in my niche go and watch YouTube. But for me personally, I have never gone to YouTube and looked at multiple things. I always stick to my basics. and make sure that I am understanding this main concept of edge and seeing that how I can implement, and that is how I grow it step by step.
Got it, man. Great. So just to recap, so you downloaded that app of Zerodha and you actually started learning from there, but then you lost a lot of money, and most of your learnings came from your own personal experience, right?
Correct.
Got it. That's pretty amazing, man. So now what I want to know is how did this idea of taking this knowledge that you had learned from the app and obviously your own experience and then teaching it to other people, where did this idea really come from and how did you go about doing so?
So when I started off trading, right? So initially, like I told you, I had my own ups and downs, and ups and downs are always part of this game.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to be making millions and millions all the time. There's definitely going to be ups and downs, but then to learn each of it, like just like you asked me if there's options or futures, what is it that you actually do? I had these same questions when I started off. Over a period of time, when I learned all of this and I saw a consistent way of making money, so that is when I decided that I can also share this. So moving back and seeing in my own family, I saw that there's lack of financial literacy amongst my family members or people around me in general, especially in India. So my long-term goal to start this company was to help people with their financial knowledge. But then, since I was doing well in this, I thought this is where I should start helping out people, and that's how it came into picture.
Got it, man. So tell me about your initial days. Like, how did you launch this coaching company? How did you get your initial clients? What price were you selling at? Because I remember, like, before you joined Ability, I think you had this Instagram page where you were posting like pictures every single day and doing that level one, two, three stuff. What happened, and tell me about your early days.
So when I started off this, I really had no clue how to go about it. So the best way I thought was at that point of time, start an Instagram page and then share what you have done.
Hmm.
So I always believe that, you know, if you share the results that you have got, that would actually have an impact on people rather than, randomly giving some random data. So
Yeah.
that is how I started off my marketing, posting my screenshots of profits and, of live workshops. I used to do one-on-ones at that point of time, and that's how we started off.
Got it, man. That's pretty awesome. So my question is like, what kind of problems were you facing with the approach that you were following at that point of time? And I'm sure like on the internet, you must have come across this blue color company. Why did you decide on to click on an ad and decide to actually take action and take your business to the next level?
So, in the initial stages of me teaching, training people, it was easier. Like, I hardly used to get like 3, 4 clients a month. So
How much
I
were you
used to,
selling at?
don't even ask me. I was charging them 700 rupees.
No way.
Right, but
Damn.
at the same time the product was also very very at the initial stages where the value that I was offering was not clearly working properly. I
Hmm.
was doing something and it was working for me, but the same thing when I taught them, it was not working because there was some gap between that.
Hmm.
Because probably my mindset, like I was telling you, the risk management, the capital allocation, and psychology, these were the parts I never incorporated into the program initially. So I
Hmm.
was directly concentrating on the third part, that is the strategy or the techniques.
Hmm.
Right. So the techniques part of it, I used to tell them like, this is the technique, you have to follow it, and you're going to make profits. But
Hmm.
then initially, I used to get 3, 4 clients a month, and I could take them one on one, and then take give more amount of time to them and all of that. But over a period of time, when they started getting results, I got better results on marketing on my Instagram, and more people started joining. Now when more people, one day I get one client, second day I get another new client, third day I get another new client. So I had to do level 1 for the first client, and then on the second day I had to do level 2 for the first client, and then level 1 for the second client, and it became like very very hectic. It was not something I could scale. So
Hmm.
that is when I was seeing that how effectively I can give training to other people,
Hmm.
consult other people, help them and train them and make them get results in such a way that it's scalable and at the same time it's effective. So that's when your ad popped up, and I got in call with Pratham.
Got it. So Basically, you decided to join us because you were struggling to scale. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Got it. And did you decide that time that I want to raise my prices, or this happened after you joined us?
I honestly, I didn't even know like I could raise my price
Mm,
because I always thought, the traditional way of business is just acquire more and more volumes instead of
mm,
having more and more prices. I've never
mm,
seen a business where people are increasing the price of the product every now and then, right?
mm,
If you take a biscuit packet, then the price of it remains the same, but the distribution goes bigger and bigger,
mm.
right? Anything for that matter. So in that way, I never had that idea that I could raise my price and how much, if I could, how much I could.
Right. Got it.
So definitely the chance or the challenge of raising my prices came after I joined Uability.
Got it. Now, Pranav, as you know that there are so many people now helping coaches and consultants. So I'm sure that our ad wasn't the first one that you saw. So why did you decide to work with us specifically over rest of the competition that's out there?
This is a very funny story, actually. The first training program that I came across was Uability. Okay, because first of all, I didn't know that I had a problem. I was just trying to figure out things on my own, and this ad popped up. I had a call with Pratham. I joined in. Okay.
Hmm.
But then I never took action on anything. And
Hmm.
then after joining, I was again attracted to so many ads. Once I clicked on your ad, then Instagram started shooting me so many ads of the same kind of thing. And then I joined a couple of them and then definitely learned a few things. But then none of them gave the results that I wanted. And then I came back here, saw the community. Okay, this is working. I need to work on this to make sure that, I get the results that I want, and then I started working on usability seriously.
Okay, got it. So, how were your initial days at Uability like? Like, how did you go about, selecting your niche and everything, and then signing your first high ticket client? How did you proceed with that?
So yeah, so before we signed the high ticket client, first I had to create the VSL system, right? The website. I'm an electronics and communication engineer, but I don't know coding. So
Hmm.
it was always a desire. You can say that I wanted to create my own website without coding, and that came true really thanks to you because you have given everything in detail, like step by step how to do it. So that gave me a lot of confidence that I can do it on my own without anybody else's help, right?
Hmm.
So that is where the journey started, first figuring out the niche, and then after that creating the website, the funnel, all of that. And that is when I then started doing the sales calls.
Hmm.
So I was really frightened initially when I had to make a sales call for a low ticket of 10,000. At that point of time it was high ticket for me. So 9,000, 10,000, whatever the price was at that point of time, if I had to talk to them or call them, it used to be frightening. But then I came back to you and said, and then you said 30 calls and then talk to me. So when I did the 30 calls, I actually got a sale, and that is when I got the first confidence. Okay, this is possible.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
that's how it went.
So you were selling at 10,000 that time, right?
Yeah, 700 and then 10,000.
700, then you raised it to 10,000. Got it, man. And I remember that day when you signed your first high ticket client and you posted in a community hashtag win that I've actually finally done it. So my question is like when you started doing well and this high ticket stuff started working for you with the help of our elite program, why did you decide that okay, now it's time to upgrade and become part of mastermind and join that?
Right. So now 700 when I was charging, the supply was high. The demand was high. The supply of me giving enough attention was not there. So we raised it to 10,000.
Hmm.
Again, the supply kind of reduced because we had to provide that kind of quality. And at the same time, the marketing had to work. A lot of things had to work properly for me to close enough clients at 10,000. Right.
Hmm.
So now, even at this stage, now my demand increased again for the product, and then again I raise my prices, again increase my demand, again raise my prices. So now at this point of time, I was charging enough amount of money, but still there were a lot of clients coming in, lot of leads, lot of calls, and my delivery was not automatic. So
Hmm.
delivery became a very, very big struggle. And I could not hire trainers to do the delivery because I
Hmm.
don't believe until and unless you do it, you should not teach, train, or do give it to other people, right?
Right.
So for me to get trainers, all of that, it was a lot of hectic thing. Rather, I wanted to be the owner of my business and at the same time automate it. So that is when I think I again got onto a call with you saying that, Rohan, I want to automate this entire stuff and then scale my business. So I think that
Got
is
it.
when we got into mastermind.
Got it, man. Awesome. And then at that point of time, we set up the entire automation for you, which allowed you to handle more students. Like at this point, how many students do you have now?
113.
Wow. So like literally starting from
No,
one.
like this is 130. I'm not even counting the clients that I was charging initially, the 700, 10,000.
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
not?
counting the, no,
Wow.
these are only high ticket.
Wow, man. That's really awesome. So, and then I think like even after you joined Mastermind, you not only automated, but then you ended up raising more than doubling your price again, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's crazy. And I think like the other achievement that you had was like having the ability to have somebody sell for you, right?
Yeah.
So getting a salesperson to actually get on board and also be able to teach them how to go about doing that. And again, we are still on the process of it. But what was your first reaction when you were just sitting and another person on automation literally just took the phone and closed the deal for you? So this means that the ads were getting you the leads, the salesperson was closing, and you didn't have to be involved in the process. How was that like? You didn't
I
even
my
do it.
whole body was goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like, see, from being an employee, 9 to 5 employee, to having a dream of having your own company and then hiring your first employee and that employee getting results,
Hmm.
that's like a lot of thing, man. I can't even
Yeah.
express how it feels.
Hmm.
Yeah. But it's like, at every level you have a new devil.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Which brings me to like one question that I'm sure like some of the people watching this video might be wondering, man. Do you have any tips for somebody who, let's say, is doing a 9 to 5 job and they want to become an entrepreneur and they're kind of stuck, right? Because, pressure from job and then there's business. So, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to really start their own business and they are still doing a job?
Right. So everybody's scenarios are different. Their
Mm,
financial backgrounds are different. The kind of work they are into, probably night shift, day shifts, the amount of time they spend on the company, everything is different. But then for me, I was not happy with my 9 to 5. Right. I think
mm,
majority of the people who are watching this video, I think even they're watching it because they're not happy. Right.
yeah.
So in that case, you cannot just resign and then decide what you want to do. That's not the
Mm,
right thing to do. Even though it seems like you're very frustrated and you don't like it, you're feeling like your energy is getting drained.
mm,
Find that passion of yours that you would like to help other people out with, or a product that you want to work on, and work on it parallelly.
mm,
If you're telling me that you don't have enough time to do it, then that's something I cannot agree on, because I used to do my 9 to 5 and
mm,
travel back and forth from office to home and then come back, do the live sessions, create presentations, and then do the sales. I had to do everything end to end on my own. Right.
right.
I never used to sleep earlier than 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I used
Mm,
to make sure that I completed the to-do list that you give in your usability videos and action points,
mm,
and then at the same time delivery to my clients, creating the content, everything, right?
mm,
So create that side hustle,
mm,
like spend that enough amount of time on hustling this site. And this doesn't mean that you have to give away your family time and other stuff. Just identify the time where you're wasting and you're not happy about it.
mm.
So when
Got
you
it.
eliminate all of this, especially Netflix and Amazon, it's not going to do you any good. So instead
Mm.
of that, if you can work on this, then again, you can be a successful entrepreneur.
Right. So I think this is like a one good point that you mentioned. Like most people think that, oh, I'll quit my job and then I'll think what to do, right? So that's
That's not
like,
how it works.
yeah, because you'll be so confused. Like, there's so much. So I think like this is a great point. Start taking baby steps. And then
Yeah.
once you see success within those steps, I think you can then take the plunge of giving up, right?
Yeah, see, even if you're when you say successful, it's not like you made $1 million with your side hustle.
Hmm.
It just takes that one moment where you have been doing some consistent results, you have
Hmm.
data to back your decision, and especially you have to look into your finances, right?
Hmm.
So make sure you have some amount of backup with your finances and then move into the direction you want to completely.
Got it, man. Great tips, man. Great tips. I'm sure this will help a lot of people.
Yeah,
So Pranav, like 113 clients you said, right?
yeah.
Awesome. So how much have you made, since joining UWD? I think like that's like the question that everyone wants to know about.
Yeah. So if I have to count the entire 1.5 year, then I've made somewhere approximately 30 L in revenue.
30 lakhs?
Yeah, 30
Wow,
lakhs in
man.
revenue.
That's next level, man. And congratulations, firstly, Pranav. And just so that everyone watching this understands, I think more than a year or something, Pranav was doing this while doing a 9 to 5 job and while trading as well, right?
Yeah.
So, like three activities he was doing. Thankfully, now he doesn't have to do the 9 to 5, which took me a lot of time to make him quit, but he finally did it. So now
Yeah,
he's.
that's something even they should know, that this happened on one of the mastermind calls where
Hmm.
there was another member, and Rohan always used to tell me that now it's time, your day, you have enough data to do it. But I, see, there's one thing I learned, again, a book from Psycho Cybernetics, again recommended by Rohan. So in that book, Maxwell Maltz says that you can never be certain in your life. Whatever decision you take, there is
Hmm.
always a point where you might be wrong with the decision.
Hmm.
Rather, it's your life is like a bicycle, or rather your mind is like a bicycle. If you keep it still, then you're going to fall off.
Hmm.
But rather, if you take a step in any direction, then your
Hmm.
brain has a subconscious memory, and it's like a servo machine where you're going to get enough proper feedback, and you'll be able to move forward in the proper direction. But then if you don't take any step at all, then you won't move anywhere.
Hmm. Got it. Makes so much sense, man. And I'm sure that a lot of people watching this video, they'll be able to realize this, and hopefully this will give them confidence as well to make this decision for themselves. So awesome, man. 30 lakhs, and also hiring an employee for yourself, and also being able to transform so many lives, because this is one thing that a lot of people miss on, that people make money with their courses or coaching, but when you ask them what about your students, they're like, they don't have an answer. So definitely you're transforming a lot of lives, man, and you're helping a lot of people trade effectively. So yeah, I mean, Pranav, this is like really insightful. One thing I want to know, actually, just final two questions. If somebody wants to know more about trading and intraday stuff, what's like the best way to actually get in touch with you, man?
So the best way to get in touch with me is, again, visit my website, theintradayexpert.com. And again, you can watch the free video training that we have there, and then book a one-on-one session with us so that we can discuss in depth of what your issues are. And then later we can, if we find that you are the right fit, then we'll take you in, and we can work together.
Awesome. Great. So what I'll do is I'll ask Pranav for these links and I put them in the description below. Anybody interested, do check him out. He's doing really good. And obviously his clients are doing fantastic. So he's going to be able to help you out as well. Pranav, the final thing I want to know is, you've gone through so many ups and downs as an entrepreneur, as a trader, right? So, if you wanted to share some tips, right, for somebody who is yet to go through this whole journey, right? I know you did it specific. You shared some tips for, in person doing a job, but somebody specifically doing a business, right, and maybe trading as well. What three, four tips would you like to share that maybe advise as a elder brother?
Right. Number one, have a good civil score so
Hmm.
that you can get credit, revolving credit that you can use for your ads, your other spends, and everything. This amount of cash that you get from your credit card is very, very essential, especially when you're running a business,
Hmm.
because cash flow is very, very important. It's not about how many crores is in your bank account, but you getting cash flow every single month. That is what is going to matter. So have a very good CIBIL score, and you can do that by repaying your credits on time.
On time.
That's number one. Number two would be your lifestyle, your core
Mhm.
routine, what you do every single day. That's going to have ripple effects everywhere, including trading. So
Mhm.
if at some point of time in my lifestyle I have gone over tossing that I have the freedom of doing anything and I leave my routine,
Mhm.
so it has directly impacted on my trades as well in my trading, because you lose control of taking decisions, right? Your
Mhm.
mind is going to take you and you will not be in control of your mind,
Right.
right? So routine is the second tip that I would like to give. The third tip is, again, track your finances properly. Where is your outflow going, and make sure that your outflow is
Are you
managed.
using that finance sheet I gave you?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome,
So the
man.
finance sheet is definitely there, and of course you can make changes to whatever you want and something that's comfortable to you, or you want to create your own sheet, that's also fine. But yeah, track your finances. Otherwise, at one point of time, you'll be thinking, how am I going to pay my credit card bill? Right. So if you are just randomly spending, I used to do that a lot. I used to randomly spend, and you know that I have been in that situation where I did not have money to spend on ads, because
Mhm.
whatever money came as profits, I just used to spend it like with happiness.
Mhm.
And that's not the right way to go about it. So if I had not done that, by this time I really could have scaled my business to a next level. Yeah,
Right.
apart from where I am right now. But yeah, that's the third tip I would like to give. Yeah, I think fourth tip is, eat healthy, drink good water, and keep yourself hydrated. I know
Cool,
it's
man.
difficult because I myself struggle with it, but yeah, it's important.
Absolutely, man. And like these are some critical lessons that I can vouch for because Pranav was going through these himself and now he overcame them and it's really helping him become a better entrepreneur. And I'm sure that it's going to help you out as well. So Pranav, bro, thank you so much for doing this. You are crushing it and you're doing fantastic and I'm super proud of you, and you accomplished all this while you were doing a 9 to 5 job, and I just really look forward to what you can now accomplish that you are full time into this, right? So I look forward to those results as well. And anybody else watching this, do check out Pranav. Link is given below. And if you are interested in getting fantastic results like Pranav, make sure to book a free consultation call with our team, and we would be happy to create a game plan for you. So thanks again for watching this video, and thank you, Pranav, for coming on this interview. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.